Hey, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to make this video, and it's 5 things I think that all PSD, TNT, new CL holders could benefit from, right? So um, there's this girl, or this lady, I should say. She has a channel. It's 1 billionth content creator. I'll tag it down in the description below. But she had me write. I wrote down a few things based on her videos and a few other people's videos, to be honest. I heard a guy say deaf fuel. Yeah, no, death is not fuel. But anyways, I wrote down a couple of things that I want to go and kind of go over. And the first one is the 50,000 miles. So a lot of people think it's your loads. Like if the load is 1,000 miles, then that's all you get is that 1,000 miles, right? So, and then anything between that, it's only the loaded miles, right? That's not true. 50,000 miles is all dispatched miles. So if you have to deadhead, let's say you have a load and it was 2,000 miles and you get there, right? And they say, oh, well, there's nothing in this city. You need to deadhead 1,000 miles to get to your next load. That 1,000-mile deadhead counts to your training miles because you have to drive that. 1,000 miles don't seem like a whole lot, but you can only really drive like solo. You can only really drive maybe 700 miles, by yourself. So you're definitely gonna be switching, like that's a full shift, basically 2 full shifts. Yeah, you can, every dispatched mile, every single, so loaded, unloaded, deadhead, all of that stuff counts to your 50,000 miles. That also means that if you need to go home, you can tell them you need to go home. You can tell them, hey, I need to go home. I got my birthday coming up or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. They can't tell you no. You tell them I need to get home, and just make sure you let them know ahead of time. Some people don't do that. They'll let them know like a couple days before, and then they're like, okay, well, we got to get a load going here, here, and here, and here, so we're probably not going to get you there on time. But if you let them know ahead of time, hey, I need to be home on this date because I have this going on and blah, 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 then they're going to try your best to get you home on that date, so I wouldn't say don't count out. Well, when the freight gets better, yeah, they should be able to get you back wherever you need to be. But when the freight's kind of, it'll get you close, but that's how it goes, right? So, yeah, 50,000 miles, it's all dispatched miles. It's not just your loaded miles. So it won't take as long as you think it would, but it does take a while. So the I don't know how, 1 billionth content creator, she said, since it's so slow, it can take up to 3 months for you to finish your training. No, absolutely not. If it's crazy, if it's busy every single week, then at minimum it's going to take you up to 3 months. So if you think about it, 5,000 miles a week, there's 4 weeks in a month. So 5,000 times 4, that's 20,000 miles for the entire month, assuming you did that. They could even get you to do that. So in 3 months, that's what, 60,000 miles. So that's if you did 5,000 miles a week. Now, I can tell you right now, that ain't going to happen. You are not getting 5,000 miles a week. I think you'll be lucky to get 3,000 miles a week. So what's going to end up happening is at minimum, it's going to take at least 3 months for you to finish. At least 3 months for you to finish. But be more likely, probably 4 to 5 months, my guess, maybe up to 6 months, because you have to include home time, you have to include breakdowns, slow weeks, not that much freight. There's lots of things that go into that. You'll be past 3 months. You'll absolutely be past 3 months. It's not going to happen. Second thing is, don't rush. I see a lot of people rushing their training. Want to hurry up and go. And I get it. They want to hurry up and get their CDL. They want to get on the road. They want to finish their miles. They want to get their truck. They want to go back to see their family, or they want to have their wife or a significant other or whoever on the truck. And I understand that. I get it. I'm in that spot right now. But you cannot rush. You cannot rush. And especially like you're going to back into truck stops. You're going to back into docks. You're going to back into lots of places. And you're not just backing into cones. There's people's trucks there that also backed into those spots that could be crooked. They also pay for these trucks. They also have a company they work for, or they could own that truck. And now you have to back into the spot so you don't hit them. And when you do this, you're going to be doing this at night. Could be at night, and it could be pouring rain, and you've got to back into a spot because that's what time your appointment is. It is incredibly hard to back into trying to concentrate when it's pouring ass rain. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's super dark. You're tired, and you have to back into this spot without hitting anything. So please don't rush. Pay attention. Do it back up as much as you can. Get as much like training and chances as you can. Let them do it. Like, for you trainers out there, stop backing in for them. Like, let them do it. There was a girl that did 50,000 miles and she still couldn't back up. And what come to find out, her trainer never let her back up. So anytime they got somewhere, her trainer would switch seats with her and back up for her. And so she was done with her 50,000 miles. She was at 49,000, I think like 800. And they had to bring her back into the pad and teach her how to back in. That's sad. That trainer failed her. That's terrible. Third thing, PSD and TNT. So PSD and TNT are not the same thing. A lot of people try to say that, oh, I had to do PSD, so TNT should be easy, blah, blah. PSD is not the same. PSD is kind of like this weird training where you kind of go with them maybe for a day or two, and it's, it's kind of weird. But TNT is more like, you're with somebody, you're sharing a space, you're that kind of thing. And honestly, TNT really isn't as bad as you would think. Could you get a trainer that doesn't give a shit and like only is doing it for the money? Absolutely, you could. But it's more rare now. If that does happen, you just tell your fleet manager, hey, I don't want to be on his truck anymore. I'm doing all the driving. He's driving for maybe an hour or two a day. I'm over this. I'm done with it. Like, find me a hotel, get me back to wherever you need to get back to. But I'm done being on this truck. And if I'm not going to get off this truck within a timely manner, I'll bring all my shit off this truck, and I'm going to call you from a payphone. Someone's getting me a hotel. So let them know. Don't be scared to let them know that you want to get off that dude's truck. They're not going to sit here and force me to do anything. When I was on my first trainer's truck, we got to a place, I was absolutely over it. I got on my phone, I got off the truck, I called Prime and said, I don't care what you guys got to do, but I'm getting off this truck tonight. And the girl on the phone was like, well, can you stay for one more day so we can figure out blah, blah, blah. I said, nope. I said, my wife is already on the way. So I don't know what you guys got to do, but in about 2 hours, my wife's going to be here, and in 4 hours, I'll be home. So you guys need to figure it out. And sure enough, got all my stuff, packed it all up, threw it off to the side of the truck, and I waited. And wife showed up, and I left. So don't be afraid to, if you get a shit trainer, don't be afraid to say something. Will arguments happen? Maybe. But for the most part, don't be afraid to say something. Number 4, mistakes. Mistakes will happen. Mistakes will absolutely happen. Whether it's a mistake from the fleet manager, mistake from you, driving mistakes, things like that. It just takes time. You need to just understand that mistakes are all a part of learning. And basically, when you make a mistake, think of it as you found out at least one way how not to do that. Listen to your trainer. Pay attention, take your time, don't get to a truck stop and everyone's sitting there like, come on, motherfucker, they don't do that. And actually, if you're having trouble backing in, a lot of guys at the truck stops will get out. They'll get out of their trucks and help you back in, because the easier they can get you to back in, the more that they can get past you and things like that. People will help you out there. Don't think that, like, you hear all these stories like, oh, these guys don't give a shit and blah, blah, blah. That's not true. A lot of people out there are more than willing to help you because they know just as well as you do that you're on the road by yourselves, and that's all you have, really. And sometimes you do need a little bit of help. And so a lot of times they will help you. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. I'm not saying that if you back into saying, darn it, I backed into a truck. I mean, don't be afraid, if you cut a corner and you pop a curb or something like that, man. It's not a big deal. Just don't let your trainer make you feel like shit over it. You know what I mean? And the last thing, number 5, is have fun. Just have fun. Because when you're out there and you're having fun and you're learning and, yes, you're going to be tired. Yes, there's going to be some stuff where you get nervous and you're not sure what to do. But just have fun. Just be out there and do your thing and learn as much as you can. I think once you do all that, you're going to be surprised. Like, it's not as hard as you thought it was going to be. Honestly, you'll probably laugh about it later on. So other than that, I don't have anything else. Hopefully for you guys that are in TNT and PSD and want to come into training and things like that, these 5 things that I have, these are nothing. I could probably go and get 5 more things that could help TNT and PSD guys. And after that, I could do another 5 and another 5, another 5. There's so many things that you can do as being a good trainee. Don't get overwhelmed. And I know the girl I was talking about, the 1 billionth content creator. Don't get overwhelmed. You know, it's nothing to be overwhelmed about, right? It's just driving and it's just learning. They sometimes you feel like it's a lot and you're trying to learn as much as you can. You're trying to learn how to back, you're trying to learn your pre-trip. You know, there's so much stuff that you have to do. The PSD section part of it is probably the hardest part. When you get to TNT, you're not going to be doing all that. You're not going to be doing all this fucking pre-trip stuff, and you know, you're not having to deal with that. Really, it's going to be driving and backing and learning how to check into places, and then you're doing some more driving and backing, and you learn how to check out of a place, learning how to use your app and send macros. And you know, if you're going to go lease, you'll be, you know, your trainer will teach you how to look at the numbers and how to do this, how to do that, and paying for fuel. And it's really more learning the job. It's more the stuff that you want to do, not being forced to do, right? And wearing, you know, look like a retard walking around with that damn vest on. And trust me, I know how it feels. You know, everyone's looking at you like, oh, he must be fucking new because he's got the vest on. You know, that's how you feel when you wear it. It makes you feel stupid. At least in my opinion, it does. Maybe not for other people, but when I came in with 10 years with a CDL, I had my CDL for 10 years. So wearing that vest is kind of like a beacon of like, oh, you're new, you know. So now when I go to with the Millennium, it's not so bad. And it is Millennium, IUM, Millennium, not millennial. I know people say millennial. It's not millennial. It's Millennium. But you go to the Millennium and you see, you know, guys walking around with their purple badges and all that stuff, and just relax. You know, there's nothing to be freaking out about. You know, there's nothing to be ashamed about. Nothing like that, man. Just take your time. Don't freak out. Relax. You know, have a good time. Enjoy it. You know, you get good food and you know, enjoy all that, because once you get into TNT, all that shit goes down the drain, because you're gonna end up at Love's and Pilot, and you might. I think so I can tell you right now, it's either McDonald's, Arby's, Subway, Wendy's, and or like one of those, like, you know, the in-house like chicken or pizza places they always have, like express chicken or whatever it is. But 9 times out of 10, it's either Arby's, Subway, or McDonald's. It's usually the 3 things you're gonna find the most. Some of the TA Petros might have like a Taco Bell and some other stuff, but yeah, enjoy the food that you're getting now, because more than likely you're gonna be eating like shit when you get on the road. I highly suggest bringing some type of jug so you can fill it up with water and drink a lot of water. I don't know, you might, when you talk to your trainer, you might talk to them about the bathroom situation. So that's one thing, if it was me, that I would do, is talk to your trainer, like, do I need to bring a jug, you know, a piss jug, and ask them. You have to be straight up, because some trainers don't want to stop, right? They don't want to stop at truck stops, and it's really not that bad. You know, they act like you have to park or something. You don't. You just pull into a truck stop, you go in through the fuel island, you jump out, use the restroom, do what you got to do, maybe clean the windshield here and there if you don't need fuel, and take off. You know, so it's kind of nice. You know, but whatever. Just that's stuff you should talk about with your trainer. But anyways, those are the 5 things in my mind that I think a lot of trainees have questions about, and it's usually the 50,000 miles, and it's usually how PSD and TNT works. I may make a video based on just how TNT training works, from the time that you finish your PSD and they give you a little piece of paper to send your email, from the time you get picked up, from you know, things you need to pack or have or whatever, which I did a video on, but I think I want to do more of a full complete video of TNT, and maybe that might help a lot of people when they go and look for it, because I know that when I was looking for stuff for TNT, there are a lot of videos of people like, oh, this is your packing list, you know, but that's not really realistic as to what you would actually use or need on the road. Some people bring a lot of shit, like they'll bring like a lot of towels and like all this stuff, and you don't really need towels. I don't know why you would need a towel really on the truck, you know. But when you go to like they're like, well, I take a shower. Well, Love's and Pilot and TA, they give you towels to use, and if you need an extra one, they're more than willing to give you. Hey, can I have an extra towel or two? Yeah, boom, extra towel. So, anyways, I'll probably make a more encompassing video that kind of goes over everything with TNT and how it works with being on the truck with your trainer and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, appreciate all the love and support. Be safe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.